What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be talking about how many miles I've driven. While I'm going to consider how many miles I've driven in my total life, because I was just calculating it the other day. I was like, I wonder if I've driven 1,000,000 miles yet. I'm going to also be talking about how much I drive as a delivery driver as well, because, man, you drive a lot. I'm looking at my car and I'm like 75,000 miles in a year in like a little bit, you know? That's not even considering that I also had a Tesla and a Ford Focus at the same time, so I was putting miles on those ones as well. And I'm like, damn, I drove like 50,000 miles last year. That's a lot. So first of all, let's dive into it. If you guys haven't yet, please consider subscribing, and I'll also smash the like button if you guys enjoy these informational videos. I'm always trying to give out as much information as I possibly can, just trying to help everyone out. But today we're just talking about how many miles you've driven. So comment down below, do some math in your head real quick. I know this is annoying, it's like homework, but try to do some math and figure out how many miles you guys have driven in total in your entire life. Just let me know in the comments down below. Just estimate it. Now, I want to get the exact number. I'm just kidding. Yeah, just estimate it, because I was doing the math the other day and I'm like, damn, I'm pretty close to 1,000,000 miles, you know? I've driven anywhere from 30 to 50,000 miles.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah, I listen to Joe Rogan pretty much every day while I'm driving around. So, let's talk about how many miles we've driven. Comment down below if you guys haven't yet, how many miles you guys have driven. So, just doing some quick math. I've been driving since I was 16 years old. 16 years old. Just want to throw this out there. I have never crashed. I've never had the only thing that's ever happened to me was people rear-ended me. Totally out of my control. Sometimes I even am so on top of it, not to be like a cocky driver or anything, but I will literally watch someone like, ooh, they might rear-end me, and I'll slow down till the very last second, right in, like, before I hit someone. That way, I have much less likely of a chance of getting rear-ended, because I've been rear-ended probably like 7 times or so. But personally, I've never had an accident that was my fault, and I've driven 30 to 50,000, if not more, miles every single year. So, and we have to consider that I also used to drive for a living when I was the Razor team manager doing so I worked for Razor, which is a scooter company, and our job was basically go on tour and do autograph signings and stuff for like skate parks. And I would drive that tour van around like everywhere we went. And one year we drove straight up 20,000 miles just in 1 month, just literally going in a circle around the road or around the country and then zigzagging and stuff. So that was quite a bit of miles. So we're gonna talk about how many miles. So at worst, 30,000 miles times 15 years. At minimum, I've driven 450,000 miles, because I've never driven less than 30,000 miles. But that's not even considering all of the 50, like, I've had many 50,000 or 50,000 mile years. So if we say 50,000 times 15, I've driven around almost about 750,000. And I'm gonna say I'm well over that. I would say I'm past 800,000, because I drive so much, and I've driven, let's see, like 3 or 4 cars across the country that weren't even mine. So I know that I've driven over 500,000, because I've put well over 500,000 on just my own personal cars. So I had a RSX, an Acura RSX, that I put about 260,000 miles on when I was, from the time that I bought my first car when I was 16 or 17 till I think I sold it when I was like 22 or 23. I had it for 6 years. Whatever that math is, I'm not doing it. And then I had a Ford Focus ST that I drove from 10,000 miles to 230,000 miles. So that's another 220,000 miles. Plus this car right here that I still have, and I've put on almost 40,000 miles. So we're at well over 500,000 miles that I've put on just on my own cars. And then we have to consider, like, I probably put on another like 60,000 miles, if not more, on the Razor tour van, plus U-Hauls driving across the country and stuff. I've actually driven around the country, I want to say 8 times. That's because I used to perform at this place called Cedar Point in Ohio. We did a stunt show called All Wheels Extreme there, and for 6 or 7 summers just doing that show, I drove back and forth from California, from Los Angeles to Ohio. So just going back and forth. And sometimes I would just take a fun little road trip and go all the way around and go to like Florida first and like kind of do like some scenic stuff. But considering for just delivery driving, I mean, you put on like, let's say, I usually drive at least like a tank or two a week. So 500 times 52 weeks in a year, 26,000 miles at minimum, just doing delivery driving if I was to be delivery driving full-time, which I used to. For years I would be full-time delivery driving, and man, that's a lot of miles. So that's why you gotta really consider how many miles you're putting on your car when you're doing these orders. That's why I personally always do 2 miles, $2 a mile, because if you're doing like orders and you're doing like $7 for 7 miles or something, you know, you really got to take into consideration the miles that you're putting on your car. And that's why we're independent contractors, and that's why we pay our own taxes and choose what we do with our own taxes. Because, well, if you know how to do your taxes, but it's because we're taking the risk, and we're clearly at risk. If you crash or something, you're delivery driving, you are screwed unless you have business insurance. So that's why, so we're taking the risk right there. So you really got to consider, like, every job, it's got to be worth it, you know? You're not just taking it like, ooh, $7 for 8 miles or something. You know, you can't just grab an order because of how big it is. I've turned down orders that were 16 miles because it was like $16 because it was like 15 to 20 miles, you know? Like, that doesn't make any sense for me, and you got to really consider like how far you're driving, because, man, you drive a lot. Like, let's be real. That's the one thing that's why I've started moving towards just only doing casual dashing, and that's just like driving, and like if I'm gonna go get food or something, I'm gonna do a dash on the way, and if I need to go to the gym, I'm gonna get a dash on the way, you know? So these are just things that I'm always thinking about and trying to put the least amount of miles on my car as possible, especially when I get that Tesla truck in about a year or so, whenever it comes out. I don't know. I wonder how long it's gonna take, because I put my deposit down the other day. I wonder, like, I'm probably so far down in line because it was only $100 deposit. So many people probably put their deposits down, you know? So it's going to take a while till we get that car. But anyway, so if you guys enjoy these videos, again, if you guys haven't yet, please consider smashing that like button, because I'm just trying to add value to everyone's lives and hopefully entertain you guys while you drive around. And consider subscribing, because I'm not going to tell you to subscribe, but if you guys like learning stuff, and I mean, I'm not that big of a dumbass, I can teach you guys some cool stuff, you know? Anyway, so consider subscribing if you guys haven't, and check out my footwear company at offaxisacrobatics.com. Use discount code OFFAXISTanner for 30% off all year round. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Subscribe. Peace.